Hi everybody and welcome back to my backyard once again. Today we're gonna check out the HOVERAir Aqua. This is a crazy device. This is the first selfie drone designed to be fully operated in the water. It can take off, land, flip and film any kind of water activities because of course the drone is waterproof, but also it's remote controller called the Lighthouse. This you wear on your arm, it has an RTK station inside and it tells the drone where you are in the water. And to fully test out this drone I went to the lake and tried e-foiling for the first time with a board from Selfie, which I will give a very big shout out for letting me learn with their board, which is similar colored to this drone, so it's nice we are matching. I didn't film much e-foiling, but I filmed a lot of crashes. And I feel like this drone is kind of a miracle because they had to face a lot of challenges into making it. Because of course it's a waterproof drone, already hard. It's a drone that automatically follows you and you don't have to do anything. And also they made it sub 250. So they had to come up with a lot of interesting design choices. For example, there is no iron or steel on the outside. Magnesium, titanium and ceramic bearings, because otherwise salt water would corrode the metal. So the screws are made of titanium. This heatsink, because of course you don't have a fan, is made of magnesium and it's built really smartly. Even the motors are sealed off to prevent sand entering them. The camera has a hydrophobic coating, so of course when the drone takes off from the water, you don't want any water on your camera lens. The USB-C port at the bottom is super sealed. It doesn't have a SD card slot, but it comes with 128 gigabytes of internal storage, which is plenty for many sessions. And you can download everything from the app or with a USB cable. The camera is on a one-axis gimbal and it has electronic stabilization, but it can shoot up to 4K 100 for some nice slow motion. You have a bottom-face camera for stability, but also since you are on water, the regular infrared sensors don't work, so they added a millimeter wave sensor, so it can be really steady on top of water. At the top you will find this super big GPS and RTK station, and this is because water blocks signal. So if the drone ends up upside down, you still receive GPS and it's super quick. And it creates a super precise link to your Lighthouse on your arm. This is the on-off button and it's integrated in the replaceable battery. Crazy to find a replaceable battery on a waterproof drone. It has a gasket, so water doesn't enter. Here you have your contacts and then the white strip is a wetness indicator. When it's white, it's fine, you can change the battery. But if it becomes red, it means the water has entered into the electronic compartments and you have to let the drone dry. You cannot swap batteries while in the water. You have to at least put it out of the water, maybe on a surfboard. One battery will give you around 20 minutes of flight time if you go slow, 10, 12 if you are foiling, for example, going very fast, or if there is wind, up to wind level 7. One thing I was not expecting is that they added a full OLED screen on the drone itself. It's even a little bit curved. This is super useful to select what mods do you want, change settings on the go,
system settings,
but also you can preview your videos. And this is very crazy. I've never seen a screen on a drone, but it's actually so useful because you take out the drone from the water and you watch yourself. You can even go forward, go back, stop. Crazy. There are 4 ways to control this drone. The first one is standalone. You don't need any external device. So you press a button, the drone takes off and it takes the shot you selected. The only difference is that you don't launch this drone like this, but like this, because you have the propellers on the bottom. Press the button and you drop it. The drone comes back and you land like this. And this makes this drone very versatile even if you are on land. The second way of controlling this drone is through the Hover app. You have a lot of different modes to choose from, including ones specifically made for water, of course, like foil, kayak or SAP. And all the other ones will work as well, like for example the follow. It just doesn't have specifically made for land sports like bike or skiing, like the HOVERair X1 Pro Max. Here you can change the individual settings of every flight mode, and also change the camera settings and the general ones. It's way easier than controlling through the screen. You can locate the drone if you lost it, check out the album and download the videos you recorded. You have an additional warranty you can get called HOVERAir. If you break or lose both the drone or the Lighthouse, you can get a replacement for cheap. At the bottom you have the smart preview, so you can control what the drone is doing during the automated modes, or you can use the full manual control. The third way of controlling this drone is with this super cool accessory called the beacon. This is compatible with all drones made by HOVERair, and it's a modular remote controller. It comes with an OLED screen where you can change settings, flight modes and remotely control the drone. Just like the phone, it has a microphone, so you can record your voice into the drone's video. Integrated GPS that's gonna stream your location to the drone. This is great for follow style modes, or if you lose track of the drone, you can just press a button and have it come to you without having a bulky remote controller. It comes with clips, so you can wear it or mount it on bicycle and stuff like that, but it's not waterproof. If you want to go into manual control, you can add this bottom part, and this way you have a motion controller. And if you combine it with the other half, open it and do this, you have a full-fledged remote controller, so you can fully manual control your drone. And it also has space to put the phone if you want a bigger screen. Using this remote controller, you will also get better signal to up to 1 kilometer of range. The fourth way of controlling this drone, and probably the most interesting one, is with this Lighthouse accessory, which is always bundled with the drone. This is a waterproof remote controller that comes with a stretchy armband. You wear it on your hand with the GPS pointed upward, and you can do your water sports with your hands free, but you always have a line of connection with the drone. At the bottom you have a USB port for charging with a waterproof plug. On-off button at the side. At the front you have a takeoff button, land and an 8 direction pad. So you have the drone direction to manually control it up, down, turn left and turn right. The Lighthouse doesn't have a microphone, but it has a speaker. So you can select different modes while the drone is far from you. Press takeoff and it will take off with the selected flight mode. While the drone is flying, you can use these controls to change the drone position relative to you. You can have it go left, right, bring it closer, make it go farther, or also make it go higher or lower. And since you're gonna move a lot in sport activities, this will stream your GPS position to the drone, so you are the home point. If I press the Return to home button, the drone returns directly to you. You can have it land directly in the water or just pick it up.
Monitor device status.
And you have a lot of info about what the drone is doing. It also comes with a vibration motor, so for example, if I flip the drone, it tells you the drone has been flipped, or if the signal is getting weak. But one of the coolest features you get access with this accessory is called virtual tether. For example, you are in the water, you are on a SUP, and the drone is in the water as well, not recording, just sitting down, waiting for your command. With virtual tether, you can select a threshold between 5 and 20 meters, and if you go further than that distance from the drone will take off, come closer to you and land. And rinse and repeat, so it's always close to you. And actually I didn't know that, probably they just added in an update. But with the camera it saw there was a person underneath and it didn't land on it. So it has some kind of obstacle avoidance, or at least some safety feature. I'm pretty impressed by this. And using it to record my first e-foil sessions has been a very smooth but also weird experience, because I am not used yet to having a drone take off from the water. I have this constant warning in my head that Drone should not be in the water, but I have to let it go because there is no problem with this drone. And the beauty about it is that you're not holding a 360 camera in your hand. I fall a lot, so I risk breaking it, I risk losing it. I don't have to have other people with me that have to fly the drone to record myself. This thing, you go solo and it does a wonderful job of recording yourself. And I believe at the moment is the only drone that can do that. There are just a couple of moments where you have to give a little bit extra care to what you're doing. First of all, when the battery is running low, you have to stop what you're doing, let the drone come to you and land, because otherwise the battery is gonna deplete and the drone is gonna land far from you. You have to go collect it, of course. You will get notifications ahead of time so you can prepare. You can totally carry extra batteries with you if you put them in this waterproof pouch. Actually, I fell many times in the water. I had them in my back pocket and no water entered in the battery. But changing the battery is kind of a delicate moment, so do everything you can to dry your hands and not have any water enter in this compartment while you swap the battery and put the old one inside the waterproof pouch. Another moment you have to be a little bit extra careful is if you go underwater. Maybe sometimes I fell from the board and I had to swim back, my arm was underwater and the lighthouse was completely submerged. The signal doesn't propagate underwater, is a limitation that there is no way of going around, so you lose temporarily connection to the drone. The drone will wait for you, you have to go out of the water, wait a few seconds so the lighthouse can get the signal back again. And the same kind of goes for the drone, because if it lands upside down in the water, the antennas are facing down and you have a limited range. You don't lose it completely, but you have to wait a little bit till it gets a perfect positioning. But it's just a matter of waiting 10 extra seconds and you can get back to a stress-free experience and you can just focus on what you're doing. One last thing you have to be a little bit careful about is if you go to the sea or near salt water, because you can use it, no problem, but after you're done, just like even with the e-foil or any electronics that go in the water, you have to rinse it off with clean water. I am very impressed with what HOVERAir was able to achieve with this drone, and also because it's already a super polished experience. I never encountered any bugs, super smooth, super fast, the interface is nice, they put a lot of care into this drone, and it's something that most companies just release the product and then you have to wait a couple of updates for them to become good. This just came out and it's working flawlessly. So I'm gonna keep learning e-foil and eventually go to beautiful places, and this drone will be my main camera. As always, remember to like, subscribe and comment on this video. If you wanna get this drone, check out the links in the description below, because clicking on them you help my channel a lot and many times you also find discounts. Thank you so much and happy flying drones in the water. Bye!